Hey, why did the golfer bring two pairs of pants?
Why?
In case he got a hole in one.
First and foremost, you know the name. We came to break the
All right,
game.
welcome to First and Four, the podcast where a father and his firstborn break down America's four biggest sports: football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. Let's get right into it. Shout out John for the Sabre shirt. I'm counting on
Yeah,
that
looking
too.
good, man.
Won the match. They are playing the second game right now. We're watching as we're recording since the last time we recorded. So they beat the Blackhawks, and then they're playing the Stars right now. That's going to overtime.
Yep.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. They're going to play the Bruins first round.
Yes. Yeah,
So
looks like
looking
they're
forward to
playing-
watching that.
They got the 1 seed, and yeah, they'll have the Bruins in the first round. So I think it's coming up this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
excited to watch our Bruins
exactly.
in the playoffs. It'll be fun.
Our Sabres in the playoffs.
I
not
said
our
Bruins. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sabres, of course.
Our Sabres. Exactly. All right. Well, then you'd wanted to kind of recap the Masters, and I think that's a good spot to start. Just the NBA and NHL, the seasons are kind of dying down. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about there. I didn't feel like other than a couple playing games a little bit, which we'll get to at 1.2. But as far as the Masters, I think you had a little bit more time to sit down and watch than I did. So what do you think of Rory's back-to-back wins?
I mean, incredible that he was able to do back-to-back. Not many golfers have been able to do back-to-back. I think he's one of 4 or 5. So it was him. Tiger Woods obviously did. Nick Faldo did, and then Jack Nicklaus are the only ones to go back-to-back. So not an easy feat to do. I think for him, and especially heading into the weekend, like he won last year, and I think taking that pressure off, the monkey off his back, like I think years past when it got down to like close, it seemed like he kind of tensed up and like, could he actually win it?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of felt that same way heading into Sunday. Like people started catching up to him. He had a 6-stroke lead heading into the weekend, which was the most anybody's ever had heading into the weekend. So he was doing incredible. People started catching up, and especially Scotty Scheffler as he started getting closer. Yeah. And it was like, oh man, this might be, is this going to be a playoff? Is this going to be another, Rory like choke at the end? Which again, he's already got one, but Scotty really put some pressure on him there at the end, and made him really, really earn it. So hats off to Rory for getting another one. I mean, that's pretty incredible going back to back at that golf course. Pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, I think it's almost like last year's is worth too. Like I don't know if he wins this year if he doesn't win last year.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that pressure's gone. He's got a little bit more confidence. He's not playing for as much. He's already completed that career Grand Slam at that point. He's up to 6 majors now.
Yep.
And so yeah, there is something to not having to worry about it.
Yeah.
And so I think that for sure played a part. And he even mentioned that in a couple press conferences too.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
Wonder
for him though.
I wonder how many he has left in him.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting conversation. He's 38, I think.
Is that what he is?
I think he's 38.
Yeah.
So he's probably, he's got a few years left. You think, maybe, I don't know how long do golfers play? Another 5-ish years of like high level?
Yeah, he's 36. So he's probably got a good.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's younger than I thought.
Yeah. So he's probably got a 5 to 10 years, I would say. If good.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. Have some good golf to play.
Yeah, you just wonder who else is going to win as well. So Scotty Scheffler's there. Obviously, he's going to be around for a while. I think he's only 30. I think that one's actually right.
Yeah, Scotty is a lot younger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then a guy like Justin Rose, who's finished top 3 at the Masters how many times now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's a record. Or he's tied.
Is he? Yeah.
Now I got to look because I actually didn't have this pulled up. But he's finished top 3 a bunch of times.
It always seems like when these guys like start making these runs, and everybody wants to compare to Tiger and everything that he does, and who's going to be the next one, and it's like, oh, can Rory like get more? And like you said, like he's getting up there in age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he's only mid-30s, but there's always somebody like coming up that's going to be younger and and may just start taking over that nobody really expects. I think back just a few years ago, like John Rahm was like the big thing for a little while, and obviously
Yeah.
he went up on the Live Tour, and then Scotty Scheffler kind of took over, and now Rory has a couple. Like it's hard to do what Tiger did is just incredible. I don't know if we're going to see anything like it, just with the amount of good golfers that are
Yeah,
out
no,
there.
I think it'll for sure be a little bit if we ever do. I think Scotty Scheffler's the closest we've got to it.
Mhm.
Where it seems like his maybe dominance has kind of been a little bit more like long lasting than you mentioned Rahm. I remember like Bryson DeChambeau had like a couple months. I want to say even like Dustin Johnson did for a little bit there.
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of guys, post Tiger, and so yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. And I did just look. So Justin Rose has finished top 3 4 times. I think that's what I said. So he's second all time in top 3 finishes at the Masters without actually winning. So,
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully he gets one eventually. but-
Eventually, yeah, that would be nice for him. So, and I think Scotty, so he's won the Masters, PGA, U.S. Open, and then the Open Championship. So he's done the Grand Slam then, I guess.
Yeah. Or no, not U.S. Open.
Oh no, he
Hasn't
hasn't
won
won
the
the
Open.
U.S.
I was
yeah,
gonna say, I
tied
thought
for
he was
second.
still
I'm sorry,
chasing it. Okay.
tied for second. Yeah, I missed that. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. There was one that he had not won.
But he's won 4, right?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so
Okay.
twice at the Masters and then the PGA and the
Yeah,
Open.
that's right.
So the U.S. Open, yeah, he still needs to complete the Grand Slams. But yeah, so he's 29, so he's not even 30 yet.
Oh, okay.
So he is one that I guess would be, likely to get up there to 6 sooner than later, more than likely. But yeah, I mean it's tough. Again, hats off to Rory for completing that back to back. I know a lot of people were talking about him traveling out on his private jet, playing the course, practicing, dropping his daughter off at school, hopping on the jet, getting down there, playing around, and then getting back home for dinner.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. But, I mean, he's putting in the work, right? I don't see anything, wrong with that. If the guy's going to put in the work and he's going to get that done, like, hats off to him. And, again, obviously it worked for him. So I hope he does it again. I mean, honestly, if he does it again next year, like, it would be incrable.
It would be.
Has
anybody ever done that? I don't actually know.
No, I don't think anybody's done a three-peat. I think you only had back-to-back, so no three-peats have ever been done. So I don't know that it will happen, but it'd be
I guess
pretty
we'll be
fun.
chasing it next year.
Yeah, pretty fun to watch. So
It would be.
So yeah, I don't know if there was a whole lot else. I mean, yeah, it was close. Like you said, Dustin Johnson. I'm sorry,
Justin Rose
was
up there.
Yeah.
Finished 3rd, right?
Yep. Scotty was up there.
Morikawa put up a fight. I want to say, I remember just off the leaderboard. I don't know. I felt like Rory pulled out in front, and then outside of Justin Rose and Scotty Scheffler, it didn't. I mean, there were guys that got up there too, but I don't know. It just felt like those 3.
Yeah.
And then everybody else a little bit. Where are you looking?
Yeah, I was going to look and see who else was on the leaderboard, but yeah, it did seem like Rory pretty much had it in control heading into the weekend. It just seemed like, was this going to be another Rory situation? And I do feel like, last year he kind of showed that he could win it.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, like that 1 is almost like 2 for him now.
It is, yeah.
Having that pressure off and knowing what he needed to do to win it. Last year going into the playoff, he didn't need a playoff this year to finish it out. But yeah, excited for him.
Yeah, definitely.
So the only thing, did you didn't see the final putt? It was really weird. Like he was like blocking the hole. And
camera work.
The camera, yeah. It was like the camera was behind him, so he putt, and it was like, at first I was like, did that go in? Like he was like kind of he like dropped his head or something, and I think he was just kind of like, overwhelmed with like joy. But I was like, oh my gosh, did he just miss that like 2-inch putt, or like what just happened? And they showed him, and like he's excited, and obviously he didn't miss it, but that was a little weird.
It sounded like the camera work down the stretch was a little questionable. Again, like I didn't sit down to watch a whole lot of it, but yeah, it sounded like there were a few shots there on 18 that just didn't get caught in frame very well, which it is impressive what those guys do for sure. To find a little golf ball in the air is crazy. But
I can't even see my own shot.
I don't know. There's got to be a better angle.
That's kind of what I thought. There's got to be other cameras that they
Mhm.
could have gone to. I'm not sure why they chose
I
that
don't
one
know.
to pick. I would agree. Like drives, I was just saying, like I can barely find my own drive when I hit at a golf course. Of course, I'm not usually hitting on the fairway, but like I I don't know how those guys can pick it up when they're like
Yeah, I
hundreds
don't
of
know.
yards down the course and got to find this little white ball that comes off a tee
Mhm.
when they might not even see the guy hitting.
Yeah, it's impressive.
So that it is
Well,
impressive.
and part of it too, like you never know. There could have been an angle
Yeah.
with the shots, with this putt. It could be a thing where the director behind the scenes is also picking a different shot and just picked the wrong one in that moment.
Yeah.
So you never know. Maybe the camera people were on top of it, maybe not. But
I don't know.
regardless, something wasn't right.
Something, yeah, exactly. I feel like if you see that, like the backside of him, you cut to a shot of him, like close
You
up
would think,
face or
yeah.
something, and then go back to another shot of a different view where you can see the hole and him.
Mhm.
Like do something where it like doesn't just change right away, but maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I've
Yeah,
never
it was weird.
directed the stuff, so I don't know.
But no, you're right.
that
It
was
just
the only
seemed
weird thing.
out of place for sure.
We'll see what he puts on the menu for dinner next year too. I always like to see what happens from year to year if he picks the same things or if he goes with something different. The old Irish menu.
That's right. All right. Well, moving on then to moving the chains. Kind of inspired by the Masters and the line, a tradition like any other. We decided to go discuss some of the best traditions across back to our four major sports.
Yep.
I know we kind of strayed away from that with golf there for a little bit, but I felt like that was good conversation. So we're gonna go with 3 tier lists. We're gonna go elite, good, and overrated. And we've each got a few little tradition stuff that goes on within those four major sports leagues, and just talk about where we would rank them.
Yep.
How we feel about each one, and what some of those best ones are, and what ones we think maybe can go.
Yep.
So we'll start with elite. What do you want to put in the elite tier? Maybe we can go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think for me, I'll just take football first, probably. So the NFL, I say like Thanksgiving football, having football on Thanksgiving, and even like the tradition of the Lions and the Cowboys are always two teams that play. Obviously, they don't play each other, but they play other teams. I think that needs to stay. I mean, that's one that I think is in the elite category from a tradition standpoint. Thanksgiving football, like it just goes together, right? Thanksgiving, the food, the family, all that together, football in one day is awesome. I think back even to just some of the memories of like the Cowboys and Leon Lett making some bonehead play for them back in the day on Thanksgiving. And there's always some fun things, memories of watching football. And I like now that they have that third game at night. It used to be just the two games the Cowboys would play, the Lions would play, a morning game and then the afternoon game. I also like that they start the Lions game is usually like at 11:30.
11:30. Yep.
Yeah, I kind of like that it's like a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And then you get like right into the afternoon game.
Yeah, because then the next one start at like
3:30.
Yeah, like 7:15.
Yeah, and it's like you get that morning kind of kickoff right after you kind of wake up. Maybe watch the Macy's Day Parade, get a little bit of the football, fill up your plate, have some food. Then you're ready for some more food as the next game's starting, and then you get a late night snack with the last game also in there. So to me, Thanksgiving football, it's got to stay.
Yeah,
forever.
for sure. No, yeah, I agree. All right, my first one, my brother was just telling me the Red Wings in the playoffs or like big games when they win, they'll throw octopus out onto the ice, the fans will, which I was not aware of. I've never actually seen that before.
Yeah.
And apparently that goes back to the 1950s when the Stanley Cup playoff, the format was different. And to win, there was something with 8 games. I don't know if you had to, the series was somehow 8 or if you had to win 8. It had something to do with 8 games.
Yeah.
Was what I think I saw. So anyway, the Red Wings, sometimes they'll throw an octopus out onto the ice.
Yes.
The Panthers do the same with catfish. Or not the Panthers, the Predators, sorry. The Predators do the same with catfish, which I've also never seen. And then the Panthers with rubber rats, which I did know from when they won the Stanley Cup. But, so yeah, I don't know. I think that the fans throwing kind of funny things out onto the ice, there's some, traditions, some meaning behind it sometimes. Sometimes it's just kind of a fun thing, but fun. I think, again, that's the key word. And that's something I think I would keep. It's kind of random tradition, but I think that's what makes sports fun is that fan bases are all different and they have these, kind of little quirks that they have.
Yeah, no, I love that one with the octopus, and I think I talked about this previously. Going to a Red Wings game versus the Avalanche in the Western Conference at the time when they were in the Western Conference Finals, I think it was back in 01, 02.
Mhm.
And they were throwing octopus on the ice then. So I was like, this is incredible. But yeah, you're right. It was 8 games to clinch the Stanley Cup. So I think it was like the 2 series. Like you won 8
okay.
games, you clinched the Stanley Cup was what
Mhm.
they were referencing there.
Yeah, that makes.
But I would agree with that. Like those, and I think I jotted down here hockey. I like the hat trick. The hats on the ice too. I don't know if you said that, but like not only you get an octopus, you got rats, you got all this stuff, but it's like the hat trick. I love the tradition of like take your hat off, throw the hats on the ice.
Yeah.
When a guy gets 3 goals, like that's awesome. I love some of those traditions in hockey that they still keep, and
Yeah, absolutely.
that was in my elite list too.
Okay,
So
yeah.
put that up there as far as the things going on the ice.
Gotcha.
Don't let them go.
Don't let them go. I agree. All right, back to you then with elite.
All right, let me. I'll go to baseball here in the elite category. I really enjoy the 7th inning stretch and the take me out to the ball game. So like maybe it's because sitting in bleachers is not my favorite thing, or seats, and so I like to get up and stretch anyways. And I always feel like, man, this is everybody's getting up and stretching, but like especially as a Cubs fan, and growing up and like Harry Carey and having the 7th inning stretch and the take me out to the ball game, like just iconic. And then like the Cubs always incorporate, they bring somebody in as like a celebrity or whatever to do it. I love that. So I think that's a tradition that
the Cubs especially do a great job with it, I think.
Yeah.
Big thing there for sure. And that actually was in my good tier. Not that I have a problem with it. I just had a few other ones in the elite. But no, I'm good with leaving it there. I think that's a good one, especially like you said, if you are at a game, there's just something different to it.
Yeah. I can't imagine being at a game and not having the 7th inning stretch. It's just got to stay.
It does,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Sabres just lost in the shootout to the Stars.
Yeah.
Doesn't really affect anything.
That's right. Still number 1 seed.
They are.
Yep.
All right. My next one in the elite tier is going to be the Gatorade shower after, usually a football championships, usually Super Bowl, college football national championship. I feel like I've seen it a couple times, maybe with baseball. I think that like sometimes teams will pull some Gatorade. I mean, the outdoor ones, not hockey or basketball. But,
Right.
yeah, I think that's a fun one. I love it when they catch the coach by surprise. They like kind of come up behind him and he doesn't know it's coming.
Yeah. Or they're planning and plotting and trying to like figure out when they're gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, make sure they don't see him and like inching it up to him.
It's just kind of fun to watch on the sideline because the cameras will catch it.
Mm-hmm.
And you always got like the Super Bowl. It's usually a prop bet too with the color.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of excitement to it, and it's just a fun thing. And again, I just can't imagine having a big, meaningful football game without the Gatorade.
Yeah, great marketing for Gatorade too.
It is, for sure.
It's they always say the Gatorade dump, right? But it's never Powerade.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of interesting. It's a very good marketing for Gatorade, even though it could be a Powerade bucket.
You never know.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I'm going to go actually kind of on a similar thing. The end of game rituals and like celebrating. I like the baseball at the dog pile. So like after World Series win, there's always a dog pile on the mound, or somewhere like in the field. They're gonna find the guys and just they all dog pile.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fun. I just think that's like it kind of takes you back to like the little league aspect of like the fun of baseball and like just everybody is just piled in and having a good time. I love the dog pile in baseball. So that's a tradition
I think that's a fun one.
They need to keep.
I'm actually going to stick with baseball here. A lot of baseball going on here, but this one I wasn't really aware of until I was kind of doing some research leading up. But apparently, when a rookie hits their first home run, the dugout gives them the silent treatment, and they just like the rookie that hits their first home run will round the bases, come back in, and then like nobody talks to them, and they just like act like nothing happened. Which I think is hilarious. It's like a little like the hazing thing almost, where it's just like they're screwing around with them. And I think that that's awesome, and I think that that should stay.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Because I just think that's funny. And like I said, I'd never noticed it. But yeah, I think that that's awesome. So
That
let's
is
keep that
pretty
around.
cool. Yeah, I like that. A little bit of hazing for the young guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. One last one I think I've got for the elite category, and mine is the hockey handshake line.
Okay.
So the end of the playoffs, they always do the handshake line between the two teams, line up, handshake through. It's a great tradition. It's something that needs to stay forever. Hockey, obviously, you're battling and battling and battling throughout, getting in fights. It's very physical. And then at the end, it's like everybody goes, they shake hands, dap the other guy up, and hug it out. Great game.
Yeah.
And then kind of move on from there. That's a great tradition.
Yeah, no, I
Gotta
agree.
stay. So those are all mine for the elite category.
All right.
I don't know if you had any others.
Nope, that is all I've got. All right, we'll go on to the good category then. Like I said, you did pull my seventh inning stretch up to elite, but I think that that's a valid one to move. I am going to throw the Lambeau Leap into the good tier. It just couldn't go into elite for me,
Yeah.
just because as Bears fans. But it is an iconic thing. They're at Lambeau Field. There's so many of the pictures, especially when it's like cold and they can see their breath. There's some great shots of players just jumping up and with the fans. The fans always have a great time with it. And I feel like some other teams have tried to kind of replicate it sometimes.
Mhm.
But even the announcers on the game will say something about the Lambeau Leap. It just isn't the same. It's something the Packers do. They kind of started that off, and I do think it's a solid tradition.
Yeah, I think that's one. It's probably okay in the good category, but again, it is one that's started at Lambeau as a Lambeau Leap, and then like you said, it's carried over to other people now, and is it really as great tradition for just the Packers? Maybe not as much now.
Okay.
Again, to your point, it is what they say when anybody does it, like the Lambeau Leap, but for me, it's everybody's doing it now. Is it really that iconic for?
I think confined to the Packers, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Everybody gets into it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, the one I had here, and I actually kind of dipped into college for just a second here. There are a lot of college traditions I think we probably could have pulled in here, and I didn't pull as many. But we talked a little bit about bowl games previously, and I love bowl games. So that's one thing that traditionally I love. I think we need to keep the bowl games for the community and the athletes to kind of get a sense of a different place and get to go see somewhere new, get that whole experience. And I had that opportunity. I loved it. But the one thing I think, especially for bowl games, New Year's Day, they got to have the Rose Bowl. It's always got to be on New Year's Day. And so,
yeah,
I know they got the college football playoff and all these things happening. And I guess that's probably put in the good category because I'm afraid at some point this is going to go.
It kind of started to this year too. It was watered down. It wasn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much on New Year's.
They only
I
had
was surprised.
three games on New
Something
Year's,
like
I think.
that,
Yeah.
Where usually I can just sit down and watch football all day, but there was
Yes.
gaps between the games, and it wasn't the same.
I don't like that. Yeah. So, and I feel like the Rose Bowl belongs on New Year's Day. It cannot move off of New Year's Day. They got to have the parade in the morning. You got to have the game. It's a whole thing. And so that's one thing I feel like I didn't put in the elite category. I put it in good, but it's I hope it doesn't go.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I would say I can do without New Year's Eve. I feel like I just think that nobody's really sitting down and watching football on New Year's Eve, and so I remember Miami was playing Ohio State. Was that the semi game? Or around before that, I don't remember. Those two teams were playing that night, and I don't think I saw any of that game.
Yeah,
but it was a great game. It came down to the wire, and I don't know. There just aren't people really sitting down watching football. People are out, seeing friends, having a good time.
And I feel bad for those teams that one
Yeah.
of those teams is going to lose, and then you're not going to go out and celebrate after
No,
that.
not
So,
at all.
Here's your New Year's Eve, and you just lost a football game. It's all right, forget it. I'm going to bed or whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer for them.
I agree.
Okay, I'll stick with football here too. So the other one I had, NFL, more NFL related, but cold weather games for playoff football. I do kind of like it. So I didn't put this one all the way up in elite. I call it good. I think it's a good tradition that like keep the keep the home field advantage, I guess. So
I
we're getting
agree.
a lot of dome teams, especially the northern teams, are like looking to get dome
Yeah.
stadiums.
Well, and even with the Bears, like I don't really want a dome because there's something about having
Yeah,
teams come to play in the cold.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, there's something about like January having to go to Chicago, go to Lambeau. You can see everybody's breath. Like it's cold. The fans are, some are crazy. They're not wearing anything, but
Mhm.
they're all hunkered down. They got their hats and everything on, and that's just like playoff football. Like it should be a part of it. And so, yeah, it's a tradition. I don't know if it's really tradition, but it's like I hate to see that continue to go to like more dome stadiums where I want to see. I want some teams to hang on to like no dome. You're playing in the north. Buffalo just built a new stadium. It's outdoor, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll still have the advantage or whatever for home
Mhm.
field. When people come play there, I think it's fun. So
I do too.
yeah,
I
I like
agree.
the cold weather games.
Well, now I'm actually going to dip back into college a little bit. So I think something that's good that can stay is the court or field storming. So depending again, basketball or football. But I just think that's a lot of fun. Seeing
Yeah.
a fan base be that excited to beat, maybe it's a rival or a top 10 team, something like that. It's a lot of fun. And I think there's been talk about trying to limit it or shut it down. A lot of that comes from Duke. Every time someone
Yeah.
storms the court against Duke, Coach K or John Shire, they'll always complain. They got something to say. Somebody's hurt,
Yeah.
right? It was Cooper Flag
Jay
last
Billis
year.
is on there giving his whole spiel.
Who was
Yeah.
hurt this year? Was it Cameron Boozer who was hurt this year?
I don't know.
He said somebody got elbowed or whatever. And it was the same thing with Cooper Flag last year.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And I think it's a fun tradition. I think it's great to see the students and all the fans out there. And it's something about college sports that like professional sports just doesn't quite have.
Yeah.
Kind of that fan base. The energy is just different. And so I would like to see that stay.
I would agree. There's one other thing, like rushing the field, taking the goalpost down. I don't even know
Oh,
if
yeah.
you've seen that. Like if that's
Tennessee still does that.
yeah, I love to see like them hanging on that, and then the goalposts come down, and then they carry it out. Like at Purdue, they have the Wabash River kind of close, so they'd take them down and throw them into the river.
Yeah.
Watch them just float down. I think that's
awesome.
pretty. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like take those things out of the stadium. I think they started frowning upon that. They put like the collapsible goalposts in now, but like that's fun. Like let the people have some
I
fun.
agree. Yeah.
So hopefully that never goes away.
Yes.
Okay, I've got the baseball. So I was actually thinking about baseball end of game when they go on camera. A lot of times, like the player of the game or whatever will get like the pie in the face. I think it's just kind of fun. Again, not an elite category thing, but I think it's like one of those. They're having a good time still, and that again, I think baseball is like a little kid sport. Like when they're jumping on each other and they do these little pranks or whatever, pie in the face after the game, where they're talking to a reporter or on camera. I think those things are kind of fun. So keep that in there for sure in the good category. Do you have any other good ones?
I did not. You had one
All right,
more.
my last one, on the good side. I actually kind of went back and forth on this one. The NBA draft lottery. This is one where I put in good. If it goes, whatever. But I think it's kind of a fun thing that like teams always feel like they got a chance at like getting the top pick. Is it rigged? I don't know. Are the balls cold and they gonna reach in and pick the frozen one out? And could be, and maybe that's where like it kind of gets a bad rap. But it's kind of a fun thing too to like see like my team might actually get the top pick even though they weren't the worst team. They got an opportunity. They got a chance to get it. So I think it's just kind of fun. Like it's chance, right? Like pull the ball out, and hey, if you're there, great.
As a Bulls fan this year, it'll be fun.
I know exactly. We got something that I can actually get excited for here in the off season. So, yeah, I had NBA draft lottery. I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we will move on to overrated. I've got a couple here, so I'll start off sticking with the NBA. The NBA on Christmas. I think there's a couple parts to this. For one, I think the NFL is kind of coming and taking over because they just can.
Yeah.
People are going to watch football over basketball. But for two, I just think Christmas is different than Thanksgiving. Where like Thanksgiving, it's sort of different. Where like you're with family, you're just kind of hanging around, you're eating food, being lazy, like having football on's fun. Christmas, I just feel like there's so many more things to be doing, or like activities, opening the gifts, having a meal.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something different about Christmas where like I don't necessarily even need sports to watch, and
I don't
for me, the NBA on Christmas just never really caught on, except for when they had the fun uniforms, and they don't do that anymore either.
Yeah.
So now it's really just not fun.
I don't feel like we even turn the TV on a lot on Christmas Day.
Not really, no.
Maybe to watch Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah.
But like otherwise, I don't think, like you said, it's opening gifts, and then usually like, especially when you kids are little, like you're getting something that you want to play with, or Legos that you're going to go build or do something with. So like there wasn't a lot of let's just sit around in front of the TV and watch. No. Usually it's more like family time or playing games or doing something together. I agree, and I do feel like the NFL is going to start taking over Christmas anyways.
Yeah, and that's what they're kind of doing. And okay, like I said, I did used to like the fun uniforms on Christmas, but then they're lame and they don't do that anymore. So there's just nothing fun about it. So I think that one's overrated.
Yep, I'm with you. Okay, I had the Pro Bowl for sure as being overrated. Call it a tradition, call it whatever, but I think any of these All-Star games are getting to the point where it's just not even value added. I like the international formats. We talked about that a little bit. But like there's some things around like the All-Star games that are being done that I think are just, I don't know, not even fun. The celebrity game in the NBA that they do is just ridiculous. I don't know why they do that. I feel like the dunk competitions lost all the luster that it used to have. So I don't know. These All-Star games are just completely. If they did away with All-Star games, Pro Bowl, everything, like fine. Have your All-Pro teams.
Yeah.
Whatever. You can do all that. We don't even need to have the game.
No. The Four Nations face-off was cool.
That's what I mean. The international stuff was really cool. That was really cool. They did a great job with it. But I don't know. And these like gimmicky, like mid-season, the NBA, what did they do? The NBA Cup or whatever.
They play the NBA Cup now.
Yeah. It's dumb. Like that doesn't even count. Those games don't even count towards their win totals, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just
some of them don't.
thing.
It's like I think some of them are just regular season games, and then like I think it's like pool play, and then once you get out of the pool play, if you like advance, then it doesn't count. It's a whole like it's so confusing. I don't know.
Yeah. So, anyways, and I know that's not an all-star thing. That's just I don't know. That's a try-hard move. Yeah, I'd say all-star games.
Yeah, no, I think they've just lost a lot.
Yeah.
All right, this one might be, I don't know, a little bit more of a hot take, but I'm going to go with celebrity first pitches at baseball games. I just, like, I get that maybe there's something fun about it, but to me, there's just not. And a lot of them get up there and can't throw a pitch at all. And, like, it's almost, like, humiliating. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous. You can talk to me about tradition all you want, but it just, I don't know. I don't think you need it. I think it's just like there's just so many like ridiculous moments that come out of that as a celebrity, I don't even know why some of these people agree to it.
I don't really even know why they have a first pitch.
No.
Honestly, I don't even know.
No other like basketball doesn't have like a first shot.
First free throw.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like
I don't.
It's just kind of weird.
I guess they do this like coin toss. I guess at football games sometimes or whatever, but it's not
That's
an
fine.
actual.
Like okay, send an honorary captain out there, but like that's different. Like they're not.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
The only thing I will say about the first pitch is there are some iconic moments that I think like George Bush. I think back to like 2001 when he went out and threw the first pitch at the I think it was at the Yankees game, and it was in New York after Twin Towers and everything, and threw that thing, and he threw it like 80 miles an hour down the middle of the plate. I mean, no, he didn't, but I mean, it was like it was an awesome pitch, right? Like he right down. And it was like everybody was like USA. I mean, it was awesome, right?
Yeah,
like you missed out on that. I do think
so. Like you needed it like every game.
Maybe not, but then like which ones you do and which ones don't you do? Maybe it's
former players. Maybe I feel like that's kind of cool sometimes.
Yeah, maybe it's big moments. I think the other thing with the ones that like people don't belong up there It's just funny. Then it makes the internet, and then it's like, hey, we get to
It
make fun
is.
of this person now.
But then, like I
That's-
said, like as a celebrity, why do you even agree? With
I don't
that?
know.
I don't know.
I don't know why they do either. Like I said, I don't know why they do it in the first place. So
Yeah.
if they got away with it, to your point, it wouldn't bother
Nobody
me.
would care.
Nobody would care. But I wouldn't want to miss out on some of those big moments that do end up happening.
Yeah. I get that.
And that's yeah. Okay, I had one here that might be a bit of a hot take too. So the rally towels, and specifically for me, it's the terrible towel, which I just think is stupid with the Steelers. Like the whole terrible towel thing, and like you're waving a hanky around basically, like, the little yellow thing, and spinning around, and like you're like some fierce, like does nothing. So for me, the terrible towel is just ridiculous. It started way back in the 70s, and like I don't know, I just can't stand it. And I'm not even like a big anti-Steelers guy. They're whatever. I don't care about the Steelers, but it's just something like the Steelers. The people, they think that they're like high and mighty, and they have these traditions, and it's like it's really not that great.
Yeah.
It's a towel, guys. Like it's not that cool. But the interesting, I was doing a little research on this though, so I thought the rally towel was kind of interesting. So they weren't the first ones with the terrible towel.
Really?
Western Kentucky, their basketball coach waved a red towel on the bench to signal those players to excite the team, whatever, kind of get them going back in the 50s. I think it was like 1950 something.
Okay.
Anyways, that towel became like a tradition at Western Kentucky. And if you look at their not mascot, but like their emblem or whatever for their school, it has like the red flag behind the Western Kentucky.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like the whole.
That's why.
That's why. It's
Okay.
this whole red flag rally towel tradition. So it was like their kind of rally cry, whatever, for the school. But then like for the Steelers, like football guys, like some terrible towel, like it's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
anti-terrible towel, that thing can go. The other ones I had on here. So it's funny you talked about the jerseys for the NBA on Christmas Day. For me, like those city jerseys and the courts that they do, like the city court or
Well,
whatever.
so
like
the NBA Cup has courts.
yes,
Those look dumb.
it looks dumb.
And then the city jerseys, a lot of those are terrible lately.
They're terrible. I don't like them. I don't do away with them. It's a marketing gimmick.
It
It's
is.
like buy more stuff, whatever.
I like the baseball ones. Baseball does a better job of them.
Trying to think of
I
some of the
think.
baseball
I
ones
like
that
the
I've
Cubs
seen.
one, the powder blue.
The blue?
Mhm.
Yeah. I did actually like the baseball ones. You're right.
I think I like more of the baseball. The basketball ones, yeah. It's almost I feel like basketball usually has enough uniforms as it is.
Yeah.
Like they have like their home and away, but then they have like a couple alternates usually too, where like
Mhm.
you just start to have so many uniforms.
I think uniforms are getting a little out of control here. But one other uniform thing that really bothers me, and it's tradition, might be another hot take here. Baseball. Why are their coaches in uniforms?
I don't know.
It's the weirdest thing. And I know it's going to go back to like the early days, and so the player coaches and the guys actually played and they wore the uniform. Well, like, guess what? None of
They
these
don't.
guys are playing today. So, like, put something out. I don't care if it's even just sweatpants and a jacket or whatever, but like, really? With the, like,
Yeah.
you're not playing. Get the uniform off. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
coaches
no,
in
I don't know.
baseball
It is
with
weird.
their uniforms, that's a tradition. I know they kept it for a long time. You can do away with it. That's
I
not
agree.
for me.
Yeah.
It's totally
no, I
overrated.
think you're right. Okay. Well, yeah, I was wondering if this could maybe be like we rattle them off real quick as like a maybe clip to come back to. I don't know if you'd want to go like read my elite tier, read yours back and forth, or like good, overrated. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that fine? Okay. All right. Well, then we'll kind of start off with the thing, and then I'll read mine, yours, mine, and just go back and forth.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Okay. All right. We put some of the best traditions in sports into tier lists. So elite, good, and overrated. So starting with my elite tier, I put throwing things onto the ice in hockey, like the octopus with the Red Wings, the rubberettes with the Panthers, the Gatorade shower in football, and then the silent treatment that rookies get after their first home run in the MLB.
Yeah, my elite list included Thanksgiving football, especially with the Lions and the Cowboys always playing. Take me out to the ball game and the seventh inning stretch, especially for our beloved Cubs. And then the dog pile of baseball at the end of the game. When they win the World Series, everybody dog pile. And then for hockey, I had the handshake lines, the end of the Stanley Cup, and I kind of same thing that you had with the things on the ice. I love the hat trick, hats on the ice.
Yep.
When that happens, so those go on my elite list.
Yeah, and then in my good list, I threw the Lambeau Leap. As a Bears fan, I couldn't put that any higher, but I think there's something about it for the Packers. And then storming the court or the field in college sports, there's just something super exciting about seeing all those fans out there.
Yep. My good list, I had New Year's Day, the Rose Bowl, and bowl games in general. Keep those. Cold weather games for playoff football. I like the home field advantage there. Pie in the face for baseball players when they're on camera after a game. And then the NBA draft lottery belongs in that list as well.
Yep. I did have the 7th inning stretch actually good, but we bumped that one up to elite.
Yep.
All right, and then as far as my overrated list, I put the NBA on Christmas. I just don't need it. And celebrity first pitches for baseball, another thing that I don't need and that I think is just kind of useless, and I could see it go.
Yep. So my overrated ones, the Pro Bowl and really any other All-Star games, I could do away with. The rally towel, especially the terrible towel, you Steelers fans, it's ridiculous. Get rid of them. And the city jerseys, the courts for the NBA teams, and then for baseball, for Pete's sake, managers, get the uniform off. You're not a player.
All right, love it. Okay, then on to 2 minutes in the box. We'll rattle off the last couple segments here. Personally, I'm putting tanking in the NBA in the box. It's just at like maybe an all-time high. And I know Adam Silver was talking all about how we're going to do something about tanking. I really don't know if anything's going to happen or not. I don't know what a good solution is, but something's got to happen because for a product that I already didn't really want to watch to somehow become even more unwatchable, it's just been ridiculous. And the Bulls are part of that. I understand that. Now, they should have been doing that for years. But I do think the Bulls are a little less guilty in the fact that 20 teams make the playoffs or the play-in, and then 10 teams don't. And those 10 teams that didn't, basically they've all been trying to lose since the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are just sitting players, sitting their stars, saying they're injured, whatever it is, and pulling guys up from the G League, and that's who they're starting. The Bulls at least traded everybody away, so they just actually don't have anybody. So they're just actually awful.
That's good.
But, like, some of these teams, I just, like, it's insane. It's like, there's, like, record numbers of, I actually had it pulled up here. The Wizards had 17 wins, the Pacers 19, the Nets 20. So 3 of the worst records in modern NBA history. There was a point where there were 4 teams on pace for 20 wins or fewer. And it's just been crazy. Wizards ended on a 10-game losing streak. I'm just kind of going through. And the NBA was even fining teams. Like, they started coming in. The Jazz got fined $500,000 for sitting a couple of their guys. Jaren Jackson was one of them. The Pacers for sitting Pascal Siakam at one point. Like, it's just been ridiculous. And people are talking about that Grizzlies-Jazz game the other night. The Jazz ended up blowing out the Grizzlies. But, like, reading through the lists, so the Grizzlies played 6 total guys, and the Jazz played 7. And this is actually the first game in NBA history where there's been 3 triple-doubles.
Oh,
but it's just because they played, like, nobody the whole time.
They just benched everybody?
Well, that's all they played. The Grizzlies, Derek Whitehead was actually playing well. He had double digits pretty quick, and then they pulled him out of the game until they were down by 50 and just played the other 5 guys. So, like, it's just been ridiculous. Oscar Tshiebwe apparently plays for the Jazz, which I didn't even know.
No, I didn't know that either.
Or he was in the organization and got pulled up from the G League is what happened. But, like, it's at an all-time, it's bad.
So as a team, I feel like the Sixers, like, were not the first, but, like, were kind of the model of, like, tanking. But I don't feel like they ever really, like, did anything with it. Like, they haven't won a championship.
No.
So, like, I don't know what the teams are seeing that was, like, the model that makes them think that this is the way that they should.
I don't know. I think part of it's to a point where I think part of it's the plan, to be honest with you. Where the plan is just
In the
so
playoffs?
dumb.
To get into the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the play-in tournament's just ridiculous. And I think teams just don't want to deal with it. Like, we made the playoffs and played one game and lost. Like, I don't know. Like, you're not really even in the playoffs at that point. If you make the play and your odds, your draft odds and everything get so much worse. You're not, up there in the lottery, all these things. And I don't know.
Yeah, you would. I don't know. I guess the lottery does like kind of weight. They get more, like their opportunity is better the more they lose.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't get it either. Because like I said, I don't feel like there's teams that have like tanked and like are elite now. Like you look at the elite teams now.
I think the Spurs.
Did they
The
tank?
year they
like
got Wemby. I feel like they were
maybe,
pretty
yeah.
terrible the year before
I
that.
guess if there's like some elite player that's out there that they're like, hey, we got to get this guy.
And I even think the draft
Generational.
lottery helps. Like, can you imagine if it was just straight up the worst team against the number one overall pick?
Yeah, it'd probably be
Like, these teams
worse.
wouldn't win a game.
Yeah, that's why we got to keep the draft lottery.
Yeah, but like, it's just
It's the
insane.
only thing keeping us like at least
I think it might be.
legit, unless there's like frozen ping pong balls.
I
in
don't
there,
know.
but-
All right, who are you putting in the box?
So I'm glad you wore your Buffalo Sabres shirt because I'm going to put Ryan Whitney of the Spit and Chicklets podcast. So he's a Barstool guy, one of the co-hosts of that podcast, and he had said the Sabres had a 0.000% chance to make the playoffs this year. So Ryan Whitney is going in the box, and it's kind of funny because they actually put a billboard up in Buffalo with that quote from Ryan Whitney, 0.000% chance to make the playoffs, and put his face on it and put it for all of Buffalo as a reminder of, hey, we're going to the playoffs. And so I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I figured for especially 2 minutes in the box, we got to put a hockey guy in there this time. Go ahead into the playoffs, and especially with our beloved Sabres, we're putting Ryan Whitney in the box.
I totally agree because I saw that billboard and that was pretty funny.
It's awesome. So good for Buffalo.
Exactly.
And hey, get after Whitney, man. Make him pay for that.
Sure.
Keep receipts.
All right. Well, then 2-minute drill. We will keep this quick. Kind of sticking to the theme of the traditions, but first off, which sport has the best traditions overall?
So I said hockey, and I think because I was kind of thinking about the ones that I listed, and especially kind of in the elite category, I had the handshake line, the hats on the ice, and all the other stuff that kind of goes on the ice. The other things I added in here, the national anthem. We didn't talk about the national anthem being a tradition, but I think it is like one of those things that needs to stay in all sports. But I think the cool thing with hockey, especially being across Canada and in the U.S., you get sometimes both the anthems playing. Which I think is really cool. The Stanley Cup itself, traveling with the team after they win, is awesome. Too. Yeah, like the guys that get it, and then like the tradition, like when they win the Stanley Cup, the guys like pass it off. Like it's always like who's going to get it first, who's going to get it next, who they're going to pass off to. It's just a fun.
It is
like hockey's got some great traditions that go along there. So yeah, I think hockey is.
I'm going to agree with hockey. I think this one's between hockey and baseball. I think baseball's got a lot of tradition to it too. And you hit pretty much everything about hockey. But like you said, I think, and I had even mentioned throwing the random things on the court. Like the fans just have a lot of fun. And they have fun, but there is so much like old tradition baked into it that I think that,
Yeah, and I think we talked about it before where like hockey doesn't really need to change a lot. Like the traditional, the things that they do, like it's just great the way it is. Like it doesn't need to change. Where baseball, and I would agree, like baseball is maybe next for me on like the tradition side because I feel like there's a lot of history, there's a lot of tradition there. But there are some things that, are tweaking and are changing and like are going to be good for the game. So yeah, I feel like hockey's just like all time. It's say the way it is.
All right, so going off our overrated tiers, then, if you could only pick one, what's one of those overrated traditions that you would not mind see going?
The All-Star games. That was the one I think that stood out for me as far as the overrated category that like just get rid of them.
Yeah.
So that for me was the one that stood out the most, and like just across all sports, I'm good doing away with all of them.
Yeah, I'll go with the NBA on Christmas. I just think they're like still trying to push the issue. It feels like with the commercials leading up and all the advertising, and I just think it's time to put it to rest.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Okay, do expansion teams help sports or do they hurt rivalries that have been established for years?
This is a tough one because I do think back to the Blackhawks and Red Wings, and I love that rivalry. And then it kind of split um, with them going the Red Wings of the Eastern Conference, the Hawks staying in the Western when things expanded, and they kind of changed the way that everything was. But I put this. I think if it's handled well or handled right, I think that it's good. And I do like expansion a little bit. I like some of these newer teams coming in. Um, but yeah, more can be better. But I think as long as it's handled well and there's like rivalries that get created, I think back to like the Niners and the Seahawks, and like the Seahawks were AFC team for a long time. They moved to the NFC, and then like having that natural like West Coast, they were kind of right in there with the Niners and Rams and everybody, but the Niners and them had like a huge rivalry for a long time, right? And like it really kind of built up, and so I think people kind of forget the old AFC rivalries that they had with the Broncos and Chargers and other people, but like being able to create new rivalries, I think can be good too.
It can,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I just honestly said expansion teams were good. I think, yeah, there could be rivalries that are hurt, but overall, we talked about the Supersonics a couple weeks ago, them coming back. I think it just adds some excitement for sports to see new teams, new colors, new everything. And it's
Yeah.
great for those people in those cities too to have another team to root for, have that team close to home. And so I think it's great for the game to keep expanding.
Yep.
For any of those games.
Yep.
Okay, and then what is the best championship tradition or championship celebration or tradition, whatever, in sports?
I said the baseball dog pile. That was the one I
Okay.
said. So for me, I was thinking to like the end of game, like what do you do? So you mentioned the Gatorade dump. I like the baseball dog pile. I think the NBA. You talk about the champagne celebration in the locker room, whatever, hoisting a Lombardi trophy, maybe in football. Like to me, the baseball, the dog pile, fun. That's probably my favorite one that I like seeing every year.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go with the Stanley Cup. I think first of all, like they all go up, they all touch it, and then like each of them gets a turn, like skating across the ice, holding it, and they get kind of like they each have their own moment, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, when they all take it out, everybody's got a different day or week with it. I just think that's really fun, and I think, like as you kind of already mentioned, it's just so different from
Yeah.
other sports, and I think that one stands out.
It's fun to see what they do with it. Where
It
are they
is,
going to
yeah.
go? Where's this thing going to travel to?
Yeah, exactly.
And the funny thing, like with the Stanley Cup, they got like the keeper of the cup that has to like go along, like make sure this thing like doesn't go anywhere too bad, or like it stays in one piece. And yeah, I think there's instances where maybe it doesn't all the time. So
yeah, definitely.
it's good to have a guy following it around.
Yeah. All right, well, then we will move on to From the Stands. As far as what I've got, I know we've had some Sabres fans now kind of in our comments and stuff on social media, which is kind of fun. So hope to see that keep coming. We'll keep talking about the Sabres. Maybe push out a little bit more of the facts we had.
I think, somebody did comment on YouTube. Somebody we don't know. I don't know if you saw that one or not about the Sabres.
Tsuchimoto.
Yes. Yeah, you saw that one?
I think so.
Yeah, so that was actually kind of a good comment because I think he talked about like a lot of teams just stopped picking players because they exhausted everybody they wanted to scout. So it wasn't just Buffalo, but I think Buffalo had a little bit of fun with it. So that was kind of a cool thing there. So yeah, I think that's cool. We got people commenting on some of the stuff.
I agree.
I didn't have anything, I guess, that people brought up, but I kind of took this just from stuff I had seen on X or Twitter, and I jotted down some of the soccer news. So I don't want to talk a lot about soccer, but the World Cup's coming. So I think from the stands, what I'm going to say here is like, there's some things that are crazy now going on with the World Cup and with FIFA. So they've actually banned tailgating before the World Cup matches at U.S. stadiums, which like that's a U.S. thing, man.
That is, yeah.
Tailgating is what we do. Like, how can FIFA come in and like,
I don't know, that's crazy,
ban that from World Cup games? I mean, it's like it's a free thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
I don't know.
Maybe they don't want people getting too riled up before the games.
But I would think that even like deters people from coming. I don't know. I think that's just like part of the experience.
Yeah. Or people just go hang out. Maybe they can't even get into the game, but they're going to go hang out and have a good time.
Yeah.
And then maybe go to a bar and watch it. So that's a
Oh,
little
wow.
ridiculous. I could have put FIFA in the box, I guess. But then
Should've.
the other thing, New Jersey, I saw this that they have. So the return train from Penn Station to MetLife Stadium, they're actually going to start charging. So during the World Cup, $100 for that return transit. It usual price, like current, like before the World Cup, is $12.90.
Wow.
So that's like 7x. It's going to increase just
Yeah.
for the World Cup. Like, it's insanity. So this World Cup stuff is going to get out of control here, and I feel
Sounds
like
it.
we get into the Olympics here in a year or two.
Be-
Yeah, is that going to happen with some of the prices and
Mhm.
stuff there? But
Interesting. Yeah.
chaos with FIFA and the World Cup coming here.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't step on our tailgating, FIFA.
Agreed.
Stay away.
All right. Well, then we will get into extra innings. As far as our own teams, I mean, the Bulls lost a couple more games, and then the Trailblazers lost, which got the Bulls a pick in the top 9. So that's exciting.
Yep.
From a trade from 2021. The Cubs have won a couple games. The
Finally.
offense has been kind of lighting up, which is good. Cade
Yeah.
Horton's out for the season, which was already the case, I think, last episode. But yeah. And then NFL draft is coming up. That's a week from Thursday.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. Maybe that'll be kind of a talking point next week, kind of leading in. But there hasn't been quite as much conversation, I don't think, around it. There's not as much quarterbacks. Fernando Mendoza's kind of like the surefire number 1.
Yep.
So that's part of it. But I think skill position players, I think it'll be really interesting because, like, there's kind of like a consensus, like, okay, here's the order. But to me personally, as far as, like, receivers, I don't feel like there's a clear cut. Like, there's good, like, tier of guys that are like, these are the best ones, like 4 or 5 of them. But, like, I think any of them could be great. So it'll be interesting, I think, seeing a lot of those landing spots. I think Kenyon Sadiq is fascinating as a tight end prospect. And there's a ton of great defensive players, too, kind of near the top. So it'll be interesting. There could be some draft night trades, too. The Dexter Lawrence thing that might just be a leverage play, but that also could very well be a draft first round. That night he could get traded. And if not, I think he stays with the Giants. But I could see that one happening. A.J. Brown will probably be post-June 1st, but seeing what the Eagles do as far as their draft goes will be interesting.
Might dictate what happens there, too.
Absolutely. So I think there are some intriguing pieces to it, and I think it still will be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think we can get into that next week, and maybe we do some sort of draft of our own, or I don't know. We'll kind of see what we want to do.
It might be fun to go, like, run through the draft, but go, like, back and forth. That way we can just, like, read through our own draft, and we could, like, take each other's players. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
We're kind of going, like, off the gun.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun.
So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll
okay. Yeah, the other thing with the NFL draft is it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Keep those terrible towels out of there, Pittsburgh. Come on.
That's right.
Like, nobody needs to see that. I'm sure they're going to be flying around.
They will.
I'm just going to get annoyed watching the stupid yellow towels swinging around. But anyways, so yeah, I got that going on next week. What else did I have here? We talked about the NHL playoffs. So yeah, so that'll start the 18th. Did we talk about the scoring system in hockey?
No. You
okay, I was talking about it. Yeah,
this,
so this is one thing I guess I just don't understand with the hockey and the win totals for the season. So I was looking at the standings and like the game, like the playoff bracket and all that stuff, and like I noticed like the Golden Knights won their division, but they had 38 wins in the Pacific, 93 points. But then Anaheim, it was in third place with 42 wins, and I was like, how the heck did Vegas win? And like the third place team had 42 wins, and then Edmonton was in second and had 40 wins. Like, this is the weird. And then it's like, okay, yeah, it's based on points. Okay, fine. But like the whole
so regulation wins versus overtime wins are weighted differently.
Well, a win's a win.
A win's a
So
win.
2 points for a win, 1 point for an overtime loss.
Gotcha.
So you lose, you get a point. What's the deal with a loser point? I don't understand the loser point in hockey. But and I know, like, whatever, it's a thing. But maybe that's a tradition for hockey. Maybe they look at some of that.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just confusing. There's just like too much going on.
It is. So whatever. We know where our Sabres stand. But it was just kind of weird looking at the standings and seeing some of that stuff. But yeah, so we have hockey playoffs. I did think so from a baseball perspective. My number of the week this week is 33, by the way. So I'm gonna maybe I'll throw in a number of the week every week. But 33 is the age of this guy Blake Butera. I'm not sure how you say his name. Anyways, he's a Washington Nationals new manager. He'll be coming out in his uniform, even though he's not a player, managing the Nationals. And he's the youngest person to be a major league manager since 1972. So that's kind of interesting. I feel like football has been on that younger thing, and the Nationals have been terrible. They pretty much redid their whole front office, got a whole bunch of young guys in. This guy's super young, managing the team. So we'll see what happens there if he can turn the Nationals around. And then the other thing I had, just kind of extra innings, was we watched this, and actually I thought about talking about this earlier, but were you watching the UFL game with me?
Yes, the double penalty.
Yes,
we saw that. Now people are talking about it. We had just flipped on this game.
It was after we recorded. I think it was after we recorded last week, Friday night.
Yeah, that Friday night.
We were I'm like, what's on TV? There's really nothing on. I'm like, UFL. Okay, let's just watch this game. And so we were watching. It goes to overtime, and again, I don't even remember what teams were playing, but
Orlando, somebody, and
I don't even remember.
The team that was wearing green.
It's green versus orange, maybe?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Whatever it was, one team got a defensive penalty called on them, and then the other team tied it up. Whatever. It went into a second overtime.
Yeah, because their overtimes, there's 2-point conversions.
Yes. It's exactly. It's best of 3, right? Was it what it was or something like that? It was the best of 3 thing. And then they tied, whatever. Anyways, yes, it was. Because they didn't get the first 2. And then on that third one, they had another penalty. And it was well, it's another defensive penalty. So they just gave them, the win. It was well, you win now. And it was the coaches didn't even know what was going on. They went over, the ref was talking to the one coach. And he's explaining to him, hey, there's another penalty. You guys win. And the coach is wait, so we won the game? Yeah. And so he turns to his players, he's we win. Let's go. And this is
and then he in his post-game interview right after that, acted like he had
he knew what was going on. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the sideline reporter was talking to him.
Yeah.
And it was he had no idea that he even won. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. The UFL.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the best of 3
kind of. I don't either. They've got some fun little rules they try out.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of a fun little way maybe to do overtime. But the penalty winning and not having to actually score was I
don't know about that.
Maybe redo that one. But anyways, I thought that was kind of a fun little wrinkle there. So
yeah, no, I agree. That was fun.
I think that's all I had.
Yeah, that's about all I've got too. I think we'll kind of wrap it up there then. A little bit shorter than last week. We're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, well, then that is going to do it for this drive on First and 4. If you like today's conversation, make sure to follow, rate, and share the show. We'll be back next time breaking down the biggest stories and our generational opinions from the 4 major sports. Until then, we will see you for the next play. Peace out.